Hey everyone, I'm Chongwen for Gotta Be Mobile and Notebooks.com. In this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the new native maps, or the new native third-party Google Maps application for the iPhone 5 and the iOS platform. When Apple introduced the iPhone 5 and iOS 6, what it did was that it replaced the mapping service on the iPhone with its own proprietary solution. So this is a home-built solution, and it went ahead and took off Google Maps. What Google has done now is that it has released its own third-party application that users can download as a free download via iTunes or on the App Store on the iPhone, and then you can go ahead and bring back the Google Maps service on your phone. Once you open the application for the first time, I've already done this before, but Google Maps will ask you to sign in. The benefit is that it will save your searches and your web history so that you can go ahead and continue the Google Maps experience, say on your iPad or Android smartphone or tablet, and it will remember your previous searches, which is a nice thing, so you can stop on one device and pick up on another device. Let's go ahead and dive in a little bit into the Google Maps apps and features before we go ahead and compare the Google Maps experience with Apple's homegrown Apple Maps service. So here we're taking a look at the San Francisco cityscape. The nice thing about Google Maps is that it now uses vector-based graphics, so everything is very smooth and seamless. Things are drawn on the go as you're using the application, which means it's just connecting points and delivering data that way. Once you zoom in, you're going to go ahead and see a 2D view of buildings, and if you use two fingers and just swipe up and down, you can essentially pan and create a 3D view. This is very similar to Apple Maps flyover effects, and it will give you 3D versions of buildings. Let's go ahead and search for the Westfield San Francisco Center. I've already done this before, so it's going to show up on my search history, but let's go ahead and just type that in right now. And it pops up with a pin, and on the bottom it shows you the search result here. If there are multiple search results, you can go ahead and swipe through it. So it's going to show you different results. If you're searching for Starbucks, there should be about one on every corner in San Francisco, so it's going to show you multiple listings. If you see the listing that you think you want, go ahead and tap on it, and it will give you more information about that business or location with a little map view on top. The information on the bottom where it gives you quick links to either go ahead and call. Let's go ahead and tap it, and it will go ahead and call that business. You can go ahead and save this or star this, and it will go ahead and sync across multiple devices as well, since you've typically already signed in the first time you open the Google Maps application. Or you can go ahead and share this information in an email message or an iMessage or text message. So if you're meeting someone and you're saying, hey, let's meet at the mall, you can go ahead and share this location. You can go ahead and swipe up, and it will give you options to see photos of the place if there are any public photos, as well as street view information, which is something that the Apple Maps application is missing. So this is one area where Google Maps really exceeds the Apple Maps service. And then you also have reviews. Since Google owns Zagat Review, you're going to get the Zagat guide wherever possible. So let's go ahead and take a look at Street View and how that performs. Again, you're going to get a very fluid and fast experience just by scrolling around. We're actually connected to a slower Wi-Fi network, and you can see it's working pretty fast here. On 4G LTE, it's going to be super fast. And then you have options here. You can report a problem if you notice something that's inaccurate or there are errors, and then you can go ahead and cancel out. So let's go ahead. New to Google Maps that wasn't present before on the version for iOS 5 and earlier is voice-guided turn-by-turn navigation. So Google is matching Apple on this and is bringing its navigation experience from the Android platform over to iOS for the first time. So once you go ahead and tap on the location here, there's a little car icon. You can go ahead and tap on it. and it will show you based on the navigation from your location to where you're headed. I'm in San Jose, California right now, and the Westfield is in San Francisco, so it's taking us a little over an hour to get there. And then you can go ahead and cycle through. You can either navigate by car, or you can go ahead and navigate via public transportation. Let's go ahead and tap that, and it will calculate the fare as well, so you know how much you're paying when you're going by public transportation, and also how much time it's gonna take and your time of arrival. So taking about 4 to 5 hours via public transportation, and you can always walk if you feel like making a 13-hour trek. But let's go ahead and do the car route, and we're gonna go ahead and choose this route via 101, and then we're gonna go ahead and start the navigation.
Head southeast toward Kimpton Court, then turn right onto Kimpton Court.
So it's going to show you the way you're supposed to take. So you're going to go straight, and then you're going to turn. So it's going to show you also your next turn ahead as well. And then in navigation mode, you can still go ahead and pan around if you just want to explore the area you're in, or your passenger wants to do that if they're co-piloting in the car, if you want to discover other nearby businesses where you are. And then you can go ahead and resume your voice guidance this way. There's a little 3-dot thing, which is a carryover from Android, so that pulls up an additional menu if there is one. And here the menu options give you more options for step-by-step lists. You can go ahead and mute your voice guidance if you don't want to listen to the robotic voice, or you can cancel and resume your guidance. So this is the step-by-step list. It will go ahead and show you every turn that you're supposed to make along the way. The nice part about this is if you're actually driving and moving, and you can go ahead and exit out of this if your co-pilot wants to look up Yelp or make a reservation on OpenTable, you can go ahead and exit out of it. And not only does the voice continue in the background, but you'll also get a pop-up notification via a banner notification at the top that will give you instructions for your next turn as well as you're approaching that turn. It's not going to work here because we're stationary and we're not approaching the next turn, but if we were moving, it will go ahead and pop up with the next instruction. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this navigation.
Heads.
And then let's go ahead and open up this menu item here at the bottom once we're on the home navigation screen. It's going to give you options for traffic, public transit, satellite imagery, and also Google Earth. If you have the application downloaded, it will link you to Google Earth. The nice thing about traffic, if you've ever used Google Maps before on an Android device, is that it gives you street level traffic in popular or major cities. So not only does it give you here we have the 680, which is a major highway, but it's also giving us traffic for major roads as well in San Jose, California, where green means that traffic is flowing, yellow means it's there's a little bit of backup, and then red means it's there is heavy congestion. So in major cities, you're going to see street level traffic, which is something that Apple Maps does not have. So this is an area where Google Maps beats out Apple as well. And then you can go ahead and zoom in. And once you begin to zoom in closer, it will give you 2D imagery of the building. You can go ahead and just slide 2 fingers along, and it will convert it to a 3D view. And then back to 2D. So that's Google Maps on the iPhone 5. Unfortunately, Google Maps is not a native application. So here I have the iPad mini. The way Google Maps would run on the iPad is that it will run as an iPhone application, and you can go ahead and stretch it up to kind of fill the screen if you want. But essentially it's an iPhone application running on a larger screen tablet, and once you stretch it up, you can see that there's a little bit more pixelation because it's not natively built for the iPad's higher resolution display, even though the iPad mini doesn't have a Retina display. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Apple Maps experience and go ahead and compare that to some of the features that Google has on Google Maps. So this is the way Apple is looking at San Francisco. You can go ahead and zoom in and it will show you the 2D outline of the buildings. Let's go ahead and use 2 fingers and swipe up and down, and you can go ahead and convert your 2D view into a 3D view, and this is what Apple calls the flyover effect. So basically you're flying over or through buildings. And here you can see the Transamerica Pyramid in San Francisco. Go ahead and see what other options on Apple you can go ahead and show or hide traffic. The Apple Maps unfortunately doesn't show traffic on city streets, so you're only going to get it on major freeways. Here you can see a little bit of red going onto the 101 on-ramp. Both Apple Maps and the new Google Maps for the iPhone are based on vector graphics, so they both should render pretty quickly and are less data intensive, especially in the era where we have tiered data plans. This is a huge benefit to consumers. Both offer voice-guided navigation instructions. On the iPad mini, however, you don't have native GPS on the Wi-Fi version, so you do need a version with embedded mobile broadband, such as an iPad mini from Verizon, Sprint, or from AT&T for GPS to work for the navigation. The way that the two apps are similar is that both apps don't have offline navigation. So maps, unfortunately, are not stored on the phone, so you do need some sort of internet connection. On Google Maps, the navigation is pre-cached for a small portion of your trip, but if you venture off too far, you're going to need an internet connection to download additional map information. I'm Chung Nguyen for Gotta Be Mobile and Notebooks.com. This has been a quick first look of the new Google Maps application, which is a native third-party application from Google for the iPhone and iOS platform. Thanks for watching.